bear with me. I'm using 3 cameras today like a psychopath, so I'm going to be looking around a little bit to address everybody in my periphery. So, those of you guys that don't know me, I am Rob Garcia, the Warrior Strategist. I teach visibility strategies and issue press releases and teach clients how to go from expert to highly visible industry leader through the use of numerous visibility techniques to include press releases, magazine articles, strategic social media, influencer partnerships, media interviews, whatever you need. So my job is to help you to get more eyes on whatever it is that you're doing. Today's broadcast, we are going to be talking about social media that sells and the ability to create social media. And I'm going to share a theory with you that has worked out very well for me in the sales department. And I'll show you how to implement it for your own business, regardless of what you do. Whether you're a coach, you sell goods, you sell services, whatever business you have. So the first thing we're going to do before we get started is to give a shout out to our sponsor. Why do I say our? Like I have like 3 people here with me. It's just me. So I'll give a shout out to my sponsor, Master Blaster Coffee, veteran owned, unbelievably flavorful. Really enjoying the partnership. I'm really enjoying what they've brought to my business and to my mornings. Master Blaster Coffee was created by EOD, Explosive Ordnance Disposal experts, and it's been a very refreshing brew. So if you need a very strong coffee, check out masterblastercoffee.us to get your own bag. And they have some amazing flavors, all kinds of macchiatos and freaking Texas pecan and espressos and all kinds of fun stuff, caramel. So check them out, masterblastercoffee.us. All right. So a lot going on today. Going to be sharing a couple different ideas about things. And before we get to it, let's just talk about what's going on in the visibility world. As you guys know, I'm constantly working with clients, helping them to build up their online presence. And I am about to break a milestone, a freaking record for visibility for one of my clients. As you guys know, I've been working with Ted Fox. He fixes classic cars, former U.S. Marine. And Ted specializes in bringing the unfixable back to life. He actually sent me this t-shirt, which is kind of cool. And he's really into the classic car community. He's rebuilt Impalas and GTOs, Pontiacs, all kinds of stuff. Just a stellar dude operating out of Scooter's Garage out of Lancaster, Texas. But what's fascinating about Ted is that I wrote an article about him and it has gone nuts. It's called How Ted Fox restores or brings back unfixable cars back to life, something like that. But Ted is about to break 100,000 online impressions, which is pretty incredible. He has 3,300 views on the article. He's got multiple shares, all kinds of comments, and essentially, Ted is going to be one of the most viewed people I've ever written about. And it's paid off in the sense that because Ted invested in a visibility plan, he's gotten numerous calls between 7 and 9 for people just wanting to buy his consulting packages, even if they can't work with him in the garage personally in Texas. People want to bring their cars to him. A radio station reached out for an interview, and it's just been incredible. But we are going to push this article until it hits 100,000. We are sitting on 98,000 plus. And I feel like if I just keep using Reddit and YouTube and LinkedIn and Facebook to tell people about Ted's article and share it, that we will get it to that threshold. And I'm super excited about it. I take a real passion in the results I get for my clients, helping them get more eyes on what they're doing and on their businesses. So it's congratulations, Ted. I'm really proud of you. You've been real fun to work with. Just a good dude. And Ted's grateful. That's what's cool about working with him. He shows gratitude. And there's like a business lesson in that as well. All right. So yeah, Ted is going to get that visibility record. Maybe I'll throw a little party or something, or send him a present. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but it's always amazing, like when I see somebody, and because of my actions, you know, they start getting more results for what they're doing, and they start to realize, hey, I can be a business celebrity. I can get a lot of people, you know, looking at what I'm doing, and it's pretty impressive. So let's move on to the content, why you're here, and that is social media that sells. So as you guys know, I invented a visibility program called Tactical CEQ several years ago, and it has 4 tenets. And basically, if you apply those 4 tenets to your business, regardless of what industry you're in, you're going to get more eyes on what you do, more opportunities are going to open up, you're going to increase your sales, and your engagement numbers are going to go up. Now, I can't make like wild ass promises that, you know, oh, 100,000 people are going to see your stuff and you're going to be rich and famous overnight and blah blah blah. I'm not a ClickFunnels marketing expert. I don't traffic in lies. Part of the reason people work with me is because of trust and because I give reasonable expectations of what to expect. So the point is, one of the 4 tenets of Tactical CEQ is strategic social media. And a lot of you guys obviously use social media, your day-to-day business stuff, and some of you guys do it well, and some of you guys make me want to beat my head against a wall. So we're going to talk today about what makes a social media post sell. And the key, write this down for taking notes, is teach your industry. Teach your industry. And that's what's funny. That is also one of the 4 tenets of TAC-CEQ. So I'm using one to instruct on the other, which is hilarious. Now, when you teach your industry, you show that you're an expert, you position yourself as an alpha, you show what it's like to work with you, and you demonstrate that you're knowledgeable in your industry. All these are good things. Now, we teach at 3 different levels. We can teach at an industry level, where you talk about industry level predictions. We teach at a general level, where you talk about just your niche. You talk about subject-based stuff, information-based stuff. And then we teach at the specific level. Specific means how-tos, check boxes, like do this, do this, do this, tactics, strategy, the very, like, very, very specific stuff, okay? But if you implement these 3 categories for your social media, you're never going to run out of content. You're always going to have something to write about. So just remember that. This is like the gold bar. This is the part you should write down. Teach your industry has 3 levels. Industry, general, specific. And I just got a text that one of these cameras is not issuing sound. Oh, you're right, Melissa. Thank you. Okay. Desktop audio. Settings. Stand by 1 sec while I fix tech issues. What is going on here? This is why I need a tech expert to come in and sound check everything I do. Okay. All right. Hopefully that'll work. Test. Okay. Thank you so much. Oh my God. I've just been talking for 7 minutes and 9 minutes, and one of the cameras has no sound. Jesus. This is what happens when you don't use a certain camera for a long time, like my other, my secondary setup, and just you pop back on, and then, oh, the mic isn't working. So thank you, Melissa Hergert, for sending me a message and letting me know. Usually Jared Ledbetter is the one that teaches this and throws me a message saying, hey, stupid, turn your mic on. All right. YouTube and Rob the Warrior Strategist channels were full audio. Just my Facebook main was no audio. Jesus. Just throw a brick at me. All right. So getting back to what I was talking about, social media that sells. Biggest thing you can do is to teach your industry and understand, like I said, there are 3 levels, okay? There's the industry level that you can write at, there's the general level, and then there's a specific level. And you can create content in all 3. The more posts you can put out and the more videos you can put out that teach a tactic or teach something in the industry or have like your thoughts on the industry. And one thing that's really popular, if you're really like niche down at something, you have a specific industry that you cater to, fraud. Talk about what is going on as far as fraudulent practices in your industry, and you're going to look like a hero to your audience. You're going to look like their friend, you're going to build trust, and you're going to be able to actually help people from getting ripped off, which is always a good thing because you're educating them on fraudulent practices. That's always a big one. I always talk about PR fraud, what to expect, questions to ask when you're working with a PR professional. How much should a press release cost? What can I expect? All this different stuff. So very important to teach stuff related to fraud and bad practices because that's also a very good consumer tool for helping people. All right. Now, here's what's interesting about teacher industry. It attracts people passively that want to work with you. And what I mean by that, and this is the theory I was talking about earlier. I have a sales theory called fisherman versus lobsterman. Okay. Now, if you think about this, the fisherman is the one that's out there. They're pitching cold leads. They're the people on LinkedIn that are constantly paying to get in your inbox and pitch you something you didn't ask for. They're always sell, no connection, no value. The lobsterman is the opposite. So if fishermen are active, lobstermen are passive. And the lobsterman goes out, sets some bait in the cage, goes home for the day, comes back the next day, there's a nice big fat lobster there. Okay? That's attraction marketing. And that's what teacher industry does. So if you're doing your social media correctly and you're visible across multiple platforms and you're teaching interesting content that looks good and is valuable to your audience, you're going to have people reaching out in what we call phantom leads. A phantom lead, for example, in my world, a phantom lead is where someone sees something that I wrote or posts a video and they reach out to me and they're like, hey, Rob, I saw your video on press releases. It was pretty awesome. I want to get more eyes on my business. I don't have really good engagement online. Let's talk. That's a phantom lead. And so if I'm creating content on something I'm selling, I am not going to pitch it. This is where you guys really need to listen up. If I want to sell press releases, I'm going to teach about press releases. I'm going to even show people how to do them, and this is why. A press release is a very intricate skill that takes time to learn to do correctly, and most people will pay you to do it to save time. Now let that sink in. I will show people how to do press releases. I will talk about them all day long. I'll talk about like theory and all this different shit. But at the end of the day, most people would rather just hand me the money and get it done for them versus going through all of the stuff, learning how to format it, sign up with press release hosting sites, learning what to do with the press release strategically, right? Most people do not want to go through all those hoops in order to possibly get a release out that's going to perform very poorly. That is the power of teacher industry. So whatever it is that you're trying to sell, okay, get out there and create some lessons on it. Talk about the advantages of it or what it can bring to your life. What problem does it solve? Like, these are all the things that you need to get out there and create content about. And that's how you create social media that sells. You talk about whatever it is that you offer, why it's a good thing, and if you can tell the story of a client who bought from you and had some kind of really awesome result, we call these client success stories, then it's a very easy sell. I've had more people reach out to me in the last 8 days than I've had in months just because I ramped up video content. I started doing 3-camera broadcasts to different places on the internet. And I started creating attraction marketing content that's fun to look at. And it's an easy win for people. I know what problem I'm solving for them. I know the process. It leads to a fast phone call, and then boom, I'm generating traffic. And oh yeah, I tell the story about Ted Fox and Scooter's Garage, okay? And then people are like, I want 3,000 views on my article. I want people going to my website. Oh yeah, I didn't even mention that after I wrote these articles and did press releases for Scooter's Garage, Ted sends me screenshots of his engagement. His web traffic, 3 times as high now and growing every single day. Post engagement, 9 times as high. Think about that. Now, I can't promise that for everybody, but that's a pretty awesome success story for a client. So if I put that out there, people are going to want to work with me. So, how do we create social media that sells? We don't sell. We attract. Let that sink in for a minute. If you want to create social media that sells, you don't sell, you attract. Okay? And the process that I developed many years ago, thanks to my buddies Mark Dudek, Tammy Moses, Rich Kaufman, looks like this. Attract, connect, create value, sell. That's it. Too many people, especially on LinkedIn, want to jump right to the sale. It's the wrong way to do it. And you know these people right away. They're the ones that friend request you or they connect with you, and immediately they're in your inbox asking if you want insurance or Kangen water or whatever. This is a very poor sales tactic because A, they haven't qualified you. B, they don't even know if you have the problem that they're trying to solve. And C, it's highly impersonal because they haven't connected. Okay? So the way to create social media that sells is to attract. Be a lobsterman, not a fisherman. You're never, if you don't know me, if you're watching this right now and you don't know me, I am never going to pop up in your inbox and try and sell you something. I might pop in, introduce myself, and just say, hey, what are you working on? And maybe start a conversation. I don't need to pitch things. I don't need to sell things. I just make genuine connections with people. I pay attention to what they're going through. And then if they see enough of my content, they're going to come work with me if they realize, oh, hey, I want a lot of people looking at my stuff. I want more media interviews. I want some press releases out. I want a steady content plan that I don't have to write, that Rob can do. Win-win. Now, we're talking about the customer journey. We're talking about sales, social media that sells. Is the customer journey clear? Is there a call to action? When you've shot a video, when you've done an amazing post and you put up a custom graphic, is there a direct call to action telling people what to do, right? So my call to action usually is, hey, hit me up on Messenger. Let's talk about your visibility. If you want to, get some press releases done, if you want to learn how to, get some articles out there, Greg Clark just popped on. I did some articles for him, and I trained his VA on how to write amazing blog posts, and Greg saw an improvement in the quality of it. That's an example of a process improvement, and that's an example of teaching your industry. So Greg, actually, I'm glad he's on here. He did something really smart. He incorporated a blog into his website, and he regularly writes industry-level articles with appropriate hashtags, custom graphics, and then he pushes them out to LinkedIn, Facebook, all over. He has his VA do it. But this is going to increase his web traffic. So what do we do in case of someone like Greg to improve the social media? We go on Twitter, and we @mention people in tech. We go into the chat threads of tech magazines on Twitter, and we start leaving comments. We start leaving links to our blog posts. Greg, if you're writing this down, I've had a lot of coffee today, and I'm feeling kind of smart. We automate the social media using something like Hello Woofy. And then we also focus on some type of group discussion once a month, maybe a workshop, an interactive workshop, talking with the CEO of Quartermaster about tech issues. The blog posts can always be recycled. So now you have this big body of work, and they should be shown on repeat sometimes. So whenever, I know that CJ's putting out new content all the time, but she should also take the old posts and get them in circulation as well. And guess what? Turn them into LinkedIn articles. Boom, new engagement, right? But there's a lot of ways, because there's a lot of ways to create social media that sells, especially if you have content that's going out. Essentially, your social media should paint you as the industry leader, whether it's you or your company. It should show actionable tips. It should never be clickbaity, and it should be fun and engaging to watch. This means upgraded graphics, interesting fonts, bright colors, things that are eye-catching. That's what gets engagement. For people that are just doing text-based posts with no colored background even, you're just destroying your engagement. Nobody wants to see that. So anyway, I'm going to just recap real quick, and then I'm going to start my day and do some client work. I want to thank everybody who popped on. This is going out to YouTube and my Rob the Warrior Strategist business page and my Facebook main page, which didn't have audio for 7 minutes because I'm a freaking genius. All right. So to create social media that sells, do not sell. Focus on attracting. Put yourself or your company as the hero, providing a solution. Be able to understand the problem that your audience or your future client is going through and how you solve it. Talk about it intelligently. Be able to talk about the process. And like I said, if you guys want a never-ending source of content for whatever you do, I challenge you to use the Garcia method. Lori McNeil just popped on. This is going to be really good for her. The Garcia method of content creation for social media that sells, like I said, is a 3-tier system. You can write at an industry level, you can write at a general level, you can write at a specific level. Get out a piece of paper, start doing subheadings for whatever your niche is. For these 3 categories, you will always have ideas for videos and posts. Okay, Lori McNeil just popped on. One of the greatest PR people I've ever met. Helps people get on the morning news. She's better at it than anybody I know. Met her in person. Tremendous human being. So for Lori McNeil, I'm going to give an example. This is part of being a good teacher. Is I like to incorporate the class, right? The audience. So Lori can write at an industry level. 3 ways to avoid PR fraud. I would read that. And Lori has amazing graphics and dresses and really bright colors, so it's going to be eye-catching. So that's industry level. At the general level, she could talk about things to look for when hiring a PR professional, 4 media angles that will get you more news interviews. Okay, that's general. And then at the specific level, how I got on the news this number of times, whatever Lori's number is. It's probably like 20 or 50 by now. How I got on the news 20 times, 50 times, whatever. That's specific. So if you guys are thinking, how do I make content? I'm having writer's block. I don't know what to do. Use my method. Industry, general, specific. You just pick one. All right. That's all I got for today. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. This was a lot of fun, even with the tech stuff. And as a reminder, if you're a coffee drinker, check out masterblastercoffee.us to get your own bag of premium veteran blended coffee. Blast your way into success with Master Blaster. I've been using it for a week, and I am having a record-setting week in sales, content, creativity, production. I absolutely will shamelessly promote my sponsor, Master Blaster Coffee, and I'll throw a link in the comments after these videos are done. All right, thank you so much, guys. If you have any questions about visibility, press releases, you need custom articles written about your business, better social media, you want to be in Shift Magazine, you want to get on the news, whatever, let's talk. Reach out to me over Messenger. This goes back to social media lesson, call to action, right? Reach out to me over Messenger. Let's set up a call. Let's talk about your media angle and how to get you more visible. As always, I am Rob the Warrior Strategist coming at you from beautiful San Diego. And remember, stay famous.